Hi everyone, it's Lynn, and today I'm going to make a Christmas candle. So I'm starting with this wood slice, and I use some antique wax and a little bit of water to spread it out, and I covered the top. Then I took a piece of a branch from my backyard, and I dry brushed some of that antique wax over the top of that. I also painted a very small wood oval shape, and I used acrylic paint on that. This paint came from the dollar store, and it's kind of like a goldish yellow color. And I painted the front and the back. When the wax was all dry on the branch, I took some white chalk paint in the color plaster, and I dry brushed it over the top. And then I did go in with a pot scrubber, the plastic pot scrubber. I get them at Dollar General, and I dipped it in black paint, and I lightly went over that. I tried to kind of match the white birchy kind of bark that was on the wood slice, and so I kind of just kept going back and forth with the black and the white a few times until I was happy with the way it looked. When all the pieces were dry, I took that branch piece and I added some hot glue to the bottom of it, and I glued it right down to the center of the wood slice. And I did press it down to spread out the glue so it would lay a little bit more flat, and I just held it for a few seconds. Next, I took an awl and I poked a very small hole in the center of the wood branch. The wood wasn't very soft, so it did take a little effort, but I only wanted just a very small little indent. And then I did the same thing to that little wood oval. It was a little bit difficult to do because the oval's so small and the awl was a little bit large. But again, I just needed a tiny little dent. I grabbed some rusty wire and I cut a very small piece of it off and added just a little bit of glue, a tiny, tiny drop of glue into that hole, and then I set the wire inside. Then I took my little yellow piece and I put the wire right into the little hole that I put on the bottom of it, but I thought the wire was a little bit too long, so I trimmed it down. I actually did that twice till I got it to the height I liked. Now, to glue that yellow piece in place, I took my glue tool and I put the nozzle right over the top of the wire. I let the wire go into the nozzle. I didn't even press down any glue. I just let whatever glue was inside the nozzle get around the wire. And then I just lined up the wire with the little hole in the yellow piece and placed it on top. And there you go, a candle. To decorate it, I took a piece of greenery that I think I cut off of a wreath, and I put it right around the base of the candle. I trimmed it up a bit and then glued it into place. Next, I took a shower ring. It was like an S ring. It had a little ball on the end of it, but I cut that off. And I added some glue to the smaller curved part, and I kind of just looped it underneath that greenery. And now my little candle has a handle. And the last thing I did was I added some kind of wintry-ish leaves. They look like they had a little frost on them with some berries in the center. And it turned out really pretty. I love the rustic look of it. And I hope you like it too, and I hope you give it a try. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.